Joining me now is Montell Williams, legendary Emmy Award-winning television host and veterans advocate. Good to have you here, my friend.
Good to be here, sir.
So, do you think that the interview with Donald Trump and Sean Hannity last night revealed a more substantial side of Donald Trump than we've seen hitherto?
I think what it did is reveal the fact that this is a reality show that is here to stay. Remember, Sean Hannity gave him 2 hours last night.
Yeah.
What other guest in the history of the Sean Hannity show has he given 2 hours to? I've been listening to the pundits all day long, even last night. Everybody's trying to look for this bomb or grenade that's going to drop that's going to force Donald out of the race. Let's get this really straight. This man is really smarter than I think a lot of people are giving him credit for.
Right.
And we're not understanding exactly what and why he's here. He's riding the crest of what we created for him, and he's going to be around for a while.
All right. We've got new numbers out of Iowa tonight. A CNN ORC poll conducted after last week's debate shows Trump still leading with 22%. Ben Carson has moved into second place in Iowa with 14%, and Walker at 9%. So what's your reaction to those new numbers in the poll?
I think you had to look at the one that's really the highlight of them all is Fiorina. She just jumped into the top 5. Multiple polls have her either 5-6, 5-5, 5-5, tied with multiple other people.
So she did herself
from the
well.
Bottom to the top. But
right.
Why? Let's remember why. Donald Trump is really an exercise in America for the last 14 years, since 2000. In 2000, we had 4 reality shows on television.
Right.
This year, there are over 350. All of them are based on what? On altercation, friction, and battle. Every interview show is set up so that we have friction and battle. Donald is playing on the disenfranchised who feel that they don't have a voice in America, not being listened to. Whether they believe what he's saying or not, they can't even express what it is he means. If you ask them, what does he believe in? They go, I don't know, but make America right again.
That's right, and he's telling the truth. 3 of the top 5 have never held office. Do you think there's something, a common theme there? People are tired of professional politicians and want to see some regular, though extraordinary guy or woman take the helm and go forward?
Well, you know what? I want to read you something very interesting. This is really kind of cool. You got to hear this. This is a really short piece. The choice we face between continuing the politics of the last 40 years that have led to bigger and bigger government, less and less liberty, restrictions of earnings through confiscation of taxation, or trying to get back to the original course set by our forefathers. We will choose between fiscal responsibility, limited government, and freedom of choice for all people. Or we'll let an irresponsible Congress set the road to our failure, basically. This was written by Ronald Reagan in 1976. 40 years ago, same song and dance. 1976, we wrote Ronald Reagan off.
Right.
1980, he became the president of the United States.
No doubt.
Let's make sure you don't write this man off. He's running a really smart campaign. Last night, when he did the 2 interviews from Wisconsin, the speech from Wisconsin, did you happen to notice that all of a sudden there was a kinder, gentler Donald Trump in half the speech?
Right.
And now all of a sudden people are giving him more and more play. I would say that, you know what, listen, the one thing that Donald Trump has done is force the rest of the party to step up to the plate and actually say what they stand for.
Right.
If he starts to tell you what he stands for and starts laying this out in plans like he's done by calling on Carl Icahn to be a part of his cabinet, and Icahn saying yes, watch this. A really smart man knows when he's not smart enough to answer the questions himself. So he calls upon those people who are smart enough to do so. That makes a man a genius.
No doubt. So you took issue with Trump's campaign slogan, "Make America Great Again," in a recent in a recent op-ed. Tell us why.
I took it because when you look at this country, that's what everybody keeps saying. Let's make America great again. But I'm so sorry, if you look at the last 8 years, I would bet you there's not an American out here who's not paying his bills that feels better today than he did 8 years ago.
Right.
There's not an American out here right now who feels worse than they did 8 years ago. They're feeling better. So where do we want to go back to? I'm trying to figure out, how do we make it great again? How about we just start to make it continuously great?
Is it code language for ideology, color, race, region? What is that?
I think it's code language to say I'm as angry as you are. But people like Governor Kasich is saying it in a different way. He's saying, I understand you. I understand your anger. Let me include you in the decisions that I make. That's the reason why I think that's the person, if you notice, who also jumped very high in the polls. Dismissed a month ago.
Right.
And, you know, I just want you to understand that dismissed a month ago, I was one of those people a month and a half ago saying that we ought to keep an eye on Mr. Kasich because he's the guy that can give this entire race a real run for its money.
Well, after the fascination with Donald, if it is over,
it's not over.
But Kasich does appear to position himself as a reasonable Republican alternative who's conservative conservative enough.
Let me take you back a few years. This is really kind of hysterical because I want to make sure America understands this reality show analogy. Donald Trump is writing what we created. 4 years ago, 5 years ago, America was ready to write off Kim Kardashian when she had a 79-year-old wedding.
Right.
This last year, Forbes put her on the top list of the most influential Americans.
Right.
Reality TV does a lot for us.
That's right.
It makes people relate to people that they didn't think were relatable.
True enough.
Donald Trump is relating to America right now. The rest of the candidates better catch up.
Very good point. Or it could be the Kanye factor. But we'll debate that
Kanye,
later.
baby. Doesn't matter. It's called reality TV.
Trump has proclaimed himself the most militaristic candidate in the field. Does that bother you, or does that make you feel good?
Well, I mean, there's a couple things that he stated unequivocally. Last night, if you are a veteran, you cannot help but listen to a person who understands that the problem with the VA right now has been management from day one.
Right.
It continues to be management. He then addresses this from a management standpoint and says, I'm going to take care of the soldiers. Why would a soldier not vote for him?
Well, let me say this. I'll let you go. But
Sure.
you were critical of his criticism of John McCain,
I certainly
another heroic
was.
and valiant soldier.
Certainly was, and I'm certainly critical of him, and I've stated it unequivocally. But even when I said that, you could say what you want about anything else. You don't pick on a real war hero, and I believe that.
Right.
He's now, in his own way, apologized for that in his way, and we as a nation have accepted it because we don't talk about it anymore.
Well, that's
he
true.
just apologized for Megyn Kelly in his own way.
In his own way.
You let it go, we won't talk about it anymore.
Well,
this is a reality show being played out by the media, not by Donald Trump.
Well, let the trumpet sound. Montell Williams,
sir.
thanks so much for joining us here this evening.